Kinsa ganitong wag kung mag-submit kailangan
Ako po, sir.
Alfred ba?
Yes po.
Wait lang ha. Elementary mo timo ano?
Yes po, sir.
Kung si Michael Mating ako lang di ko niya. Lumapgid. Alfred Lumapgid, no?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Paki-check na lang, pwede na ako mag-submit.
Thank you po, sir.
Okay, good evening. And dili po pa na-answer gud sa kwan ba? Assignment. So, later na nato nag-discuss ng assignment kung submit na pa na. Kasi pa na yung mga nag-drop. Virgin 3 minutes ang buwan. Okay. So, ang next nga topic included sa third examination is kaning about maximum and minimum. Also, here in this topic, you will be able to learn how to determine if the function is increasing or decreasing. So, dali lang kayo ni guys. Parehara na itong previous na topic ang i-discuss na to. So, dali ra po to. For as long as kabalo lang ka sa principles. Okay. So, talking about this local maximum and minimum. So, pasabot sa maximum is the highest peak, or yeah, we call that maximum. Anang order kung asa ang highest or ang maximum sa curve. So, pair na siya. And then its minimum is also paired yapon na siya. So, X and Y is located at the minimum part po sa curve. As you can see here sa tuang figure, so that tells you or that explains the curve and its corresponding minimums and maximums. Now, function is increasing when the y value increases as the x value increases. So, mas dali ni siya sabton guys later kaysa ani. Kanyang liwat nila sa meta language. Ay mas dali sabton kato nasa ubos. And then decreasing if this is the curve. So, ang increasing na figure is, as you can see, going from this quadrant sa imuhang Cartesian coordinate and then going to the first quadrant of the Cartesian coordinates. Nag-start siya from third up to first. Example lang na siya. And then for the decreasing, as you can see from the top to bottom ng imuhang curve. So from second quadrant to the fourth quadrant niyang trend. And then also dapat check ninyo ang involvement sa x na one sa katong mga coordinates, and then ang iyang involved na mga points and slope. So naayapay testing ana later on. So naigibutan dali ko yung first derivative test method for determining whether a critical point is the minimum, maximum, or neither. So kaniyang mas dali sabton sa atong gagawin. So how to determine if that function is increasing or decreasing? So I'll read to you first. The derivative of a function may be used to determine whether the function is increasing or decreasing. So pasabot niya if you have been given a function, kailangan din mo siya derive once. Derive mo siya at once on any intervals in its domain. And so, importante kayo na tanaw na to ang mga x value for that. So, kung ka-remember mo, natay katong previous na topic about critical points. So, magamit na to rin na topic or na principle. So, if f prime x, if f prime of x is greater than 0, so you remember this, if f prime of x is greater than 0 at each point in an interval 1, then the function is said to be increasing. Pasabot kung nami kay interval at your first point, kung itay gani, ang imuang f prime x value, ang gawas dira is greater than 0, the function is said to be increasing. Okay? Then if f prime x is less than 0 at each point in an interval 1, then the function is said to be decreasing. So let's say this is I na lang. Okay, marag, makalibog, confusing kung gamit ang term na 1, that is I. Okay. And because the derivative is 0 or does not exist only at critical points of the function, must be positive or negative at all other points where the function exists. Okay. So in determining intervals where a function is increasing or decreasing, you first find domain values. So these are the x values para makakreate ka og interval where all critical points will occur. Okay. Then test all intervals in the domain of the function to the left and to the right of this value, of these values, to determine if the derivative is positive or negative. So diran tumugawas ng test katong sa f prime x na to. If f prime x is greater than 0, then f is increasing on the interval. And if f prime of x is less than 0, then f is decreasing on the interval. Okay, so we have this example. So f of x na function is equivalent to x cubed plus 3x squared minus 9x plus 7. So we are going to determine, or we are going to find where the function, where this function is decreasing or increasing. So firstly, you're going to derive it. So as given there is a author, no, so author's discretion. So i-derive niya ang given na function. We have this f prime x or f prime of x that is equal to 3x squared plus 6x minus 9. So this is gikan diri sa original function, i-derive lang siya at once or first derivative. So as said there is a kuan pod sa above na statement that you're going to get the, or you're going to determine the domain, no, of that function using the first derivative. So what you're going to do here is katong na-arrive nimo nga kuan first derivative is i-equal nimo siya into 0 so as for you to get the critical points. So as you can see here sa step 2, now we want to find the intervals where f prime is positive or negative. So this is done using critical points, which are the points where f prime is either 0 or undefined. If f prime is a polynomial, so it's always defined. Now to find its 0, we can factor it. Okay? Pasabutan ni, katong imong na-derive na f prime of x, imo lang to 0. So then i-obtain nimo tong katong na-derive na 1 nga equation. Okay? So dari nga case, iyasang i-factor out, no, ang 3. O pati ang polynomial na given, since naka-x, nag-arrive siya sa x squared plus 3x minus 3. So pwede siya i-factor out. Mo na ni, ang result ni x plus 3 times x minus 1 times the 3 na pod. So mao na ni karon ang imuhang critical points. So you could say that ang imuhang critical points, these are the domain ha. These are 1 and negative 3. Okay. So to find these critical points, you must, for the step 3, find a critical point, sorry. So to find these critical points, you must first take the derivative of the function, second set the derivative equal to 0 and solve for x. Okay, so nakuha na. Mo na to ang ato ang x. Mo na to itong mga domain. After that, pwede na mo siya i-graph just to check if unsa ang ato ang interval. Okay? Kung kita na may uban good nga, the interval, given na critical points na negative 3 and 1 ang domain nga nakuha na to. So unsa pa ang ubang set nga nasa domain. So ang uban siguro dili nila madali og determine. So it is much easier for them na buhaton lang ning gibuhat ko ni author. nga iyahang gi-graph. So as to provide a better na conclusion kung unsang ang intervals. So as you can see here, nag-number siya from -7 to 7, which is because it will explain your interval. So gihatag man gud ang nakuha na determine mo that the intervals are -3 and 1. So imo nang i-plot. Mo na siya -3 and 1. And so mag-create ka karon og interval and its corresponding na mga statement. So magamit na nato which should conform to this kaning mga idea nga nasa babaw. Okay? So kay ikaw first na conclusion mo out of this graph. So as you can see, again, you have this critical na -3 and 1. Okay, your x kani dere ha, kani lang sa dere, focus na dere. So your x is greater than -3 but not greater than 1. Okay? So but less than 1. Okay? So as you can see, mo na ni siya, mo nang nag-represent kani nga arrow, gi-represent ni siya with kini nga statement. Okay? And then for on the left hand side of your graph, going to the left, you have this x that is less than -3. Syempre ang critical point na to is -3 man. So beyond that, that is less than -3. So mo na ang essence na nung kailangan kuhaon jud ninyo ang critical points. Okay, pag abot mo diri sa right hand side, you have this x that is greater than 1. Okay, so if this is 1, so tanang points going to the right, that is greater than 1. Okay, again, our exact interval here is within -3 and 1. So included si -3 and 1. So as you can see, nakaka-create na statement out of that critical points. Now, for the step 4, evaluate f prime at each interval to see if it's positive or negative on that interval. Okay? Diba nag-graph naman to nimo? This one here, graph naman nimo. So for the step 4, buhatan na po na nimo siya kuan analysis para lang jud nga mabala na to if the function is increasing, decreasing, or neither. So first is ang gibuhat ni author dere is gi-represent niya ning the very left part of the graph kaning x is less than -3. So that's why you could see here interval of x that is less than -3, and then the points are negative infinity because it's beyond -3 man. So this is infinite line naman siya, -3, you have this negative infinity and -3 for the values of or for the domain, no? And then the x value for that, okay? Wait lang ha. X value. Okay. X values will start at -4. Let's say ang atong jump to unit is at 1 na unit ang atong jump. So that would start at -4. That is beyond naman gud siya sa -3, which is less than -3. This will conform to this interval ang kaning x value. Okay? Now, ang f prime of x is imuhang i-substitute ang -4 dito. And so that you'll be able to get what would be the value or what would be your what would be the conclusion or what would be the if the f or if the function is increasing or decreasing. So katong nakuha nimo nga kuan na x value dara imong gisat nga x value as per interval nimo ha, as per interval. So imo to siyang i-substitute dito sa f prime sa first derivative of the function. So as you can see, ang atong f prime is 3x squared plus 6x minus 9. So simply, gi-substitute lang ang -4 dara. So ni-arrive siya, ang f prime of -4 has given an answer na 15, which is a positive and greater than 0. Remember, na-gisulti dere oh. Asa na to? Now we want to find the intervals where f prime is positive. This is sorry. Asa dito ah. Oh, this one. If f prime x, this one here, if f prime of x is 0, then f is increasing on the interval. Since gigamit na to sa interval ha, na negative 4, again that is the value, the first x value at this interval. That is less than negative 3 man. So we'll start at negative 4. No? But if you want to have a decimal na number, di po. You will start at negative 3.01. But here, mag-1 naman ta, mag 1 unit naman ta nga difference. So pwede na po negative 4 ta. So, kung gusto ka mag-decimal point ka, pwede na po. Para nimo. Now, again, substitute na nimo siya dito sa imuhang first derivative of the function. So, naghatag siya o conclusion that is beyond or greater than 0. And thus, you could say that the function f is increasing. Okay, again, because of this rule. If f prime x is greater than 0, then the function is increasing on the interval. Now, next. Kanina po, dinasto nga na interval. Kanang original nimo. Okay? You will be using negative 3 and 1. That is your critical points there. So, na kay x value in between them. Pwede ka magkuhan guys, pwede ka mag-represent dara og 2 because, sorry. Dili 2, sorry. Pwede ka mag-represent og 0, negative 1, negative 2. Okay, you have 3 figures. You have 3 integers that could represent the x. Again, that is 0, negative 1, and negative 2. Because that is in between the value of the critical points na negative 3 and 1. So dire kay kuan kay author ang iyang gi-represent iyang gigamit na x value is 0. So iya na po tong gi-plug in dito sa sa atong function, the first derivative of the function. So at f prime of 0, the result has given a negative 9, which is less than 0. Now let's get back to the principle here. If f prime of x is less than 0, then the f or the function is decreasing on the interval. Okay, so that is why ang resulting niya dari f is decreasing. Then lastly is ang kani, the x is greater than 1. So you may start that x would be 2. Pero pwede po 3 if you want. Pwede po 4. These are just the values that is greater starting from 1 or greater than 1. So si author decided nga x is equal to 2 ang iyang i-plug in. So iyang i-plug in dito sa iyang f prime sa first derivative of the function. Again, this one kaning 3x squared plus 6x minus 9. So pwede pag kani. Okay? So iyang utang value ni x dito. And so x is equal to 2 and then the result has given 15, which is again nihatag siya o greater than 0, and thus this is increasing. Okay, so from there you could say bisan pag wala pa kan graph na nihatag yun siya og curve and it is sinusoidal, no, nang nihatag sinusoidal meaning anani ba, that is sinusoidal. So at this point musaka siya, and at this point naog, and then at this point isaka because of your test nga gibuhat kani. Okay, your function has risen, and then the function then naog na pod, and then the curve of the function insaka na pod siya, and so nakay nunani sinusoidal na curve. Now getting the y values of the max and minimum points na namanggug kay kuan kanang critical points, di ba? So those critical points are the x's, the x nimo. Ang x na negative 3, which is ang resulte magud increasing, that would mean that is your maximum. But pangitaon sa nimo ang iyang pair, ang iyang y. And then for its minimum is katong 1, and then pangitaon nimo kung sa iyang y na pair. And so, imong buhaton from the original na kuan na function, the f of x that is equal to x cubed plus 3x squared minus 9x plus 7, simply imuha na lang substitute ang negative 3 and 1 para makuha nimo kung unsa ang ilahang pair. So from there, you could obtain naman nimo, no, sa f of negative 3, the answer is 34. This is your y. that is to be paired with the negative 3. So sa ato pa, kung i-graph mo siya, saka yung siya, no? On the, kuan siya, na siya sa left, na siya sa second quadrant. Okay? So imong Cartesian coordinate. And then, at f of 1, the result is 2. So therefore, 1 and 2, mao na imuhang minimum. So nani jud ang iyahang curve ni create. Okay? So therefore, the maximum point, masulti gyud nimo siya nga maximum kay kung kintahay wala ka kabalo, kita dili ka mag-test ba? Kintahay lang ha, dili ka mag-test, then mo diretso kag kuha siyang maximum minimum point. Provided nga gikuha nimo ang critical values, then dili na nimo ni i-test ba? Dili mo buhaton ng step 4, diretso nimo graph. So pag graph nimo ana, syempre mag-pair, manggujud gyapon sila. So dito nimo mabalad na ay negative 3 o 34, that is way beyond the 1 and 2 na pair. So therefore this is your maximum, and then ang 1 and 2 will be the minimum. So ana lang kana siya kasayon yun. Questions na mo gikalibugan? Questions?
None po, sir.
Sure? Isa lang ang nag-confirm. Si Lumapid
Yes,
lang ang
sir.
nag-confirm. Sure ba kay aron ato nang makuha ng mga nalibog dira? Ato nang ma-answer ng mga nakalibugan sa uban. Wala na dyan. Try na dyan. Kaya maghatag na po assignment. Siya na. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, makatag ko sa inyo na. Other example pa daw, sir. Oh, naitagang sa kuan sa Google. May open your ano. Dagan bitog kita mo gani nag-answer sa internet ang uban. How much more ang lecture na part, diba? Wait. Pangitaw na to si Professor Dave sa YouTube kay hawag kito para maliwanagan pa mo sumat. Tagan tamog link ani, butan ako dere. Kupo ni siyang i-post sa LMS. Hawag kini si Professor Dave. Remember lang na ako siya karon pinakalit. Taro. So, you may refer to that video mas nindot kina yung mga explanation. Ako na siyang i-post sa kuana. Eulogy na section. Lang tagtuguan ba kanilang pattern ba nanasad ka para ma-injured ba aron ma-build ang iyong muscle memories. This will be your assignment 4. You'll be submitting this one by Monday para maka-enjoy pag mo sa inyong long weekend. So finding the critical points naman din siya. Sa yunar po daan eh. Mga illustrated final function solution. Even kani. Dito, pila na rin. Ano lang ako i-post eh. Activity 1, 2, and 3 na lang. And then, discuss na to na sa next week. Assignment 3 and assignment 4. Assignment 4. Monday is 28. 28. February 28. Submission is 8:30. Submission types.